Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Cup Heroes 2 replay. Spawn north side is the OKW force. We got last, comma, or apostrophe, smile. Spawn north side or south side is the red, so it's got Daemon. Looks like Trump Pirates did do a bit of vaulting there, and got the combat engineers heading over to this point here. Double combat engineer into tier 1 or tier 2. We do have a Cooper walking for the OKW player, going for tier 1. I do like this build opener, double combat engineers. Combat engineers are a good combat infantry unit. They are actually good at both at close range and long range. I don't ever feel bad deploying them in the field. A flamethrower is never bad as well. Though this may be the one maps where flamethrowers are less useful due to how wide open it is. Pioneers laying down a bit of barbed wire there, or some fortified barbed wire. Reinforced steel barricade. Which technically, most of this game is not actually barbed wire, it's actually razor wire. Though actually zooming in, that looks like barbs rather than razor. There is a difference between barbed wire and razor wire. Razor wires are effectively razors, rather than barbs. Big shocker. But also, barbed wire is meant to, the barbs are designed to hook and grab onto stuff, whether it be on mostly clothing, not very pleasant on skin either. Razor wire is designed to cut. Means if you enter it, you're going to be in a world of pain. And the big circular pattern is also known as Constantine wire, when it comes to, at least when it comes to razor wire. Penal Squad does get a bit of volley on the Pioneers, but looks like they largely took a little damage there. Pioneers soft trading away. Not a great engagement spot there for the Pioneers, but behind heavy cover makes it still quite adequate. Eyeing to capture the VP now. Another Penal Squad on the build queue. And Pioneers going to close the distance. Penal Squad decide to stand and fight. Does pick off the Mauser, takes some damage there. It may have been better for him just to stay and fight behind the heavy cover there. Now the Volkswagens get a bit of damage here. He's trying to back out off, which he does. Wait for the other Penal Squad to advance before. Two combat engineers before. One took a bit of damage upon advance. Throws a sea grenade there, so regardless of not shoot pioneers or the combat engineers win or not, that is quite a big expenditure of resources there. Volkswagens taking a decent amount of damage there. This combat engineer needs to fall back sooner rather than later. Does fall back a little bit on the later side. He possibly could get wiped out there. But will result in the Volkswagens to lose the fight. Volkswagens are more likely to lose this fight now, and did expend a lot of missions there. At least a lot at this moment in time. Penal Squad is trying to focus on the Volkswagens, so a bit of a late response there. Does eat it. The Engineers will win out, but barely. And these Penals are quite wounded. He's going for the Penal Squad rather than going for medics, I understand. But feels like medics could be a good call as well. Plus, he can just stall out to the guards, since he's gone for the guard rifle combined armed tactics. Penal Squad may take out the Kubwagen, but may not. Up north, we got the Commandeers, of course, being forced back. Two members, both wounded. Easy win for the Volksgrenadiers. I want to see medics as the next item for the sorry for my microphone. For the Soviet player, he could really use medics on these guys here. And as I mentioned before, I think medics could have been a good call rather than going for the third Penal Squad. Then he could just eye for some guards instead. Guards are good journalist infantry units. So are Penals, but less journalists because they don't have access to. Can be upgraded PTRSs, but it's generally an upgrade you should generally avoid. And looks like the OKW player is throwing all his munitions at his opponent. He does get singed a bit there, but he will lose this fight. He can a little bit too happy with the incendiary grenades. They have not been paying enough, doing enough work to really warrant it. I'm sure to fall back there. Wounded Penal Squad in the field sector. The cutoff sector is being captured. So you should just retreat this guy back sooner rather than later. He woke the fuel point capture, but he may get wiped because of that. Got the Shroom Pioneers closing on in. He's a spot where he may need to hit a retreat button now. Good call there. Retreat back sooner rather than later because of the Volkswagens on the retreat path, and they will do some work. I think he will probably be down to 2 members. hear the Cabal engage in something. Looks like he does manage to escape out 3 models there. Combat engineer's not being upgraded at the moment. Penal Squad just getting some light cover. And throws another incendiary grenade there. He does dodge it a bit more successfully that time, but does get splashed a little bit still. Another Volkswagen is on the flank. Volkswagen is to fall back, so both of these squads there. And we've got quite a bit of fire there onto the Kavagan, which may go down here. Gets an engine crit and does get the wipe there. Fresh health Volkswagen is there. Going for a sniper. I really think you should go for medics.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Salvaging the Kubwagen now. Cutoff sector has been re-secured. We've got now the penal squads advancing. Volksgrenadiers could eye for this garrison. Soviet sniper on the field.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
And Volksgrenadiers trying to lay down some sandbags now. Penal squad advancing. Into this garrison. Not a great garrison. 1 window on this side, 2 windows on this side. Of course, the other side does have a door, which means no way spot to fight out there. I'm sure do take a bit of fire there. Sniper connects with the Sturm Pioneers. Another sniper shot there onto the Volksgrenadiers. Now the Penal Squad advancing, taking a lot of damage while moving. Penal Squad, of course, prefers to be at close range on long range. Does drop a model first, but the Volkswagen now drop a model as well, and got especially one for To the Last Man. So it'd be could have stuck it out a little bit longer there, but the Sturm Pioneers probably a good idea. He did retreat back earlier. Puma on the build queue. Gone from Mechanized HQ. Fear Storm could allow him to get the Opal Blitz. The Puma. Expecting his opponent going for a T-70. If the Soviet player sees that Puma before he gets out the T-70 field, which doesn't have tier 3, then he should just skip the T-70. Because the Puma is purely anti-tank. It has a coaxial machine gun, but that's not that great. Penal Squad does take a bit of damage there, getting triple teamed by these Volks. Sniper course firing away, 3-4 kills now.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Press STG spawn in field, and the Puma has been spawned in field. Take pot shots against the sniper, and the Soviet player should not even worry about even blowing out up PTRSs on his Penal Squad. The Puma is not a high priority thought. It could just be best if he just ignores it. Sniper should still be a bit careful. I think it does have anti-sniper bonuses. I honestly don't think so though. The precision shot ability, the aim shot ability, is 100% accurate for the sniper, so this is an anti-sniper tool right here. Horsepower versus 1. But it's best the Soviet player just outright ignores it. No PTRSs. Maybe at most the squad of guards for PTRSs. That's it. Going for tier 3, good idea. Don't need to go for T-70, don't need to go for SU-76. And probably should get a good idea to not go for quad. The OKW player is still not selected. Doctrine has a pair of Jagdpanzer Woldens. I do like the Jagdpanzer, but with the Puma on the field, probably a good idea to not really need to go for one at the moment. Should I for the Panzer IV or a Stukas. As a half track here, this could be for the Battle Group HQ. I think if he should go for the Sheer Panzer Quarters and eye for the Fear Storm's Opal Blitz truck to get medics in the field. He has a squad of Penal PTRSs. I do disagree with that. The Puma is just simply not worth it. And a sniper does get a good shot there in the Shun Pioneers. And probably should just back on off. Knows about the sniper in the area. And could probably put away the Minesweeper. Has so far swept no mines. Sniper does get one more pick there. Bolton is pushing forward. The lack of medics is starting to present itself. OKW player does get Veteran C5 healing over time. Of course, that's the Veteran C5. A little bit of a tall order at this moment in game. But right now, the Soul player does have now less 300 tickets. OKW player has a full 500. Pino Peters has pushed way forward, but there's too many Volt Strings here to really push forward like this. Could see Incendiary Grenade here. Pino Peters is going to get ripped apart by the Bolts. Those Incendiary Grenade into the garrison. And the Pino PTRS squad just needs to fall back. Does have, of course, 3 guys remaining, so his PTRSs are up and firing. I think the Pino maybe eyeing throw a Sapphire Charge there. It does get inside. The garrison is at full health, at least the garrison itself. But there's way too much firepower here. Fall back there. He does actually go for a T-70. Sniper needs to fall back. T-70 will get a good shot there. I don't think the T-70 could win the duel, even if it does get the first 2 strikes in. The T-70 has 40 damage. The Puma has 80. Does it have 80 or 120? Does take a couple good pens there. I think it's 120. Because I can't remember how much health it actually has. I have my own mod stuck in my head as well.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
I think it is 120 in the...
Forces are capturing our supplies.
Picks up a flamethrower there. So the Shun Pioneers picked up a flame, or not a flamethrower, or a flame warfare, just a flamethrower. Yeah, I think it has 120 health damage per shot. The 3 shots is 360 damage. I think the T-70 has 400 health? Yeah, 400 health. Gets one-shotted by a Telemine. Now the math is starting to come back to me. We have a blob of Soviet forces here. T-70 has been fully repaired. He has now enough fuel for the Shira Panzer quarters. Good sorry eye to placing it down. That's the Puma there. He has got the battle group HQ as well, so we have all 3 HQs, which could mean he could go for the King Tiger. Probably not a good idea to go with the King Tiger. So a player could just save it for the KV-1. The KV-1 is incredibly useful, incredibly strong versus Panzer IVs, as well as definitely nearly bulletproof versus the Puma. Not mention very bullet resistant for how many pens it can take, as well as how many bounces. Does jam the turret there, but the problem is he didn't move, so the turret is still in the proper angle. Pino PTRS plinks the Puma a little bit there. Volkswagen's pretty forward. Turret still jammed, getting some repairs there in combat, but not hitting the compensator's mode, getting ripped apart. Does fall back there. T-70's turret's no longer jammed. It is a timed effect. Panzerfaust, I think, is firing, but I think he killed the gunner of the Panzerfaust gunner. Getting some good damage here. Flamethrower getting some good AoE. So is T-70 getting hit by high explosive and high flame. M334 firing against the Pino PTRS there, but the T-70 will dissuade it from existing. MG34 will fall back in time. Puma will get a good shot there. Does get another turret jam. I think one more pen could take him out.
Squad's troops ready for action.
Squad of guards in the field. So at this point in time, I don't think it really needs, but they're always quite nice unit to have. T-70 has gone down to the Puma.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
And now the Puma's not going to be very useful. Maybe a satchel charge by these Penals.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
No satchel charge. Another Penal squad skirmish around. Looks like all the Penal squads are fully on back.
Guard rifle infantry
Sniper
squads
just
are
get a
now
good
available.
shot there. Guards, rifles, being upgraded with DPs now. That Volkswagens are quite in open ground. No negative cover there though. I think a lot of maps had negative cover with outright
Lines are being
moved.
cut.
Sniper does strike some of these units. Ooh, there's the aim shot onto the
Troops
sniper.
have been lost.
Like I said, it's 100% accurate, at least versus not retreating units, so he snipes the
We
sniper.
are losing territory.
This is the one part where the Puma can deal snipers, is this ability here.
We need to re-establish our supply
Mechanized
lines.
Armor Compagnie now being employed in the field. I want to see a KV-1.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Though I can be dissuaded for S-35s and T-476s and for Katyushas. Everything else there are actually still good options. He has enough fuel for a T-476, just needs more manpower. Should suggest maybe I think there's enough manpower. He could probably eye for the KV-1. S-35, of course, is very good for anti-armor, which is also a pretty good support unit for the KV-1. Oh, you got the tank and the DPS.
The sector is at risk.
And of course, Katyusha is, of course, the Katyusha. Sandbags now being built, Penals and Guards advancing. Guards will find the MG.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
And we do have a strafing run being summoned. It's part of the entire squad.
W efforts. The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Puma getting plinked by the PTRSs of the Penal squad. This Penal squad is entangling with the Volkswagens. Incendiary grenade there. Both these squads will probably need to fall back soon. Guards firing away. Penal squad still trying to plink away. Almost wiped on out. Does get aim shot down the guards. Probably is not really worth it. That's an expensive build to use against guards. Yeah, 45 munitions just to take out one model. Pretty expensive. Against sniper, that makes sense, because of the squad wipe. Guards did not pick up the MG34, and probably shouldn't. Volkswagens do pick up the MG34. Penal squad there does fall back. Almost enough fuel for a KV-1. He also canned by ML-20, which I always feel the ML-20 just always feels lacking. Especially versus the
Territory is
Katyusha.
falling into enemy hands.
I have the men ready.
A sector has been cut off.
Units, of course, being healed on up. Volkson is capturing up the cutoff sector. And Chopiners to capture this point as well. Overall, it feels like the OKW player has been doing very well this game. And now we do have a KV-1 on the build queue. The OKW player could counter out with a Jagdpanzer. He has enough resources for it. And he's going for the Jagdpanzer, which honestly, if I was the OKW player, I probably wouldn't be eyeing a Jagdpanzer. He sees a doctrine that has access to guards, has seen a strafing run there, so if he's aware enough or remembers what doctrine's opponent's gone for, to be fair, it's somewhat hard to tell what Soviet doctrine they've gone for, seeing it's these doctrines are not too notable from each other because you saw guards and a single strafe. And of course, well, you do see what doctrines your opponents do have in their lineup. It's just that sometimes it's a little bit hard to remember. But the Jagdpanzer will be good versus the KV-1, but is durable enough to withstand quite a bit of Jagdpanzer damage. Jagdpanzer does, of course, have increased reload rate, as well as speed and rotation. Instant grenade thrown, does avoid it. KV-1 advancing. Asphalt won't do much, does get a turret jam there. The flamethrower squad could take time to repair up the damage. The hull mounted machine gun is still a pretty good weapon. Use it. Yeah, Kanza does strike the KV-1. Like strikes the KV-1, but it was a bounce. Kanza does get another pen there onto the KV-1. Now got Penal Squad along the flank, but he will get overrun by the Volksgrenadiers. And now we do have, don't remember what doctrine he's, don't think I actually explained what doctrine he's gone for, but he's gone for Elite Armor Doctrine. So Heat Round's a pretty good weapon for the Jagdpanzer. He's also going for the 221, and maybe I'm for a 223 to lock down some resources.
Supply sector under attack.
And this other player's going for the Sniper. I don't think a Sniper is a good idea.
We are awaiting orders. I have the men ready.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Sniper now deployed on the field.
Enemy forces are
And we
attempting
do
to
have
capture our
landmines
territory.
to be established. Penal squads, PTRS penals, and guards advancing. Volksgrenadiers do fall back there. KV-1 is advancing, does take a bounce there. We may see another aim shot, but he's consuming a lot of his munitions this entire game, particularly in the incendiary grenades. So he's a little bit lacking there, but the Jagdpanzer doing excellent work there. Maybe we're gonna just, he can go save up his munitions for more aim shots, or he could eye for some heat rounds, whether it be on the Puma or the Jagdpanzer. Probably better go with the Jagdpanzer.
We have fallen to 100 points. Do not let this trend continue.
Over here, Penal Squad gets behind some bit of heavy cover.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Volksgrenadiers do fall back there. Incendiary grenade thrown does eat a little bit there, as well as there. And got regular fragged by the guards. Guards, when you start falling back, they're getting ripped apart. He may get wiped out there. He does get wiped out there. Penal Squad does fall back there. And the Puma's taking some pot shots there. Puma's almost Efficiency 3, which will give him increased mobility and weapon potency. Not sure, that's definitely not damage. I wonder if that's pen or rate of fire.
Standing by.
Oh, there's a landmine there.
The enemy is taking what we have
KV-1's been
secured.
paired on up. He almost in the field for another KV-1. Good pen there on the Puma. Aim shot utilized. Jagdpanzer slow to response. Does get a good shot there. No heat rounds, no enough conditions for it. Zions just fall back there. Folks straight forward. Flamethrower squad needs to fall back. And now I do have the KV-1. Does have 3 compensations for repairs, quite a bit. 138, and he's what, 145, right? Yep. And the OKW player could go for a Panzer 4. Oh, don't think it'd be a great idea to go for Jagdpanzer. He does have all of his buildings up. Maybe starting for a King Tiger, maybe Sturm Tiger. King Tiger may be a little bit too far away, so Sturm Tiger. So, or no, not Stukas fighting against mobile infantry. Another KV on the build queue. And is going for another Jagdpanzer, so he does have proper anti-tank against the KV-1s. A little bit too much, but it is being successful, and he's doing already very well throughout the entire game with anti-infantry. While Pinos are effective anti-infantry units, the OKW players are simply just doing the game better. The OKW players also has a large reserve of munitions, has not been spending it enough. The OKW players can burn a lot of munitions, especially in the form of cinder grenades. Another pen there by the Jagdpanzer, now it's cautious movement. Pounds down the KV-1.
The KV-1 heavy tank is on the field.
Good pen there on the KV-1 again. Zero armor is somewhat exposed. Taking some more hits there, backing off to the Volksgrenadiers. And even the Puma got a good pen there. And does get abandoned there. Volks could have quickly grabbed it. Competition to quickly repair it. Jagdpanzer misses the KV-1. KV-1's now advancing. Got a straight run now being pulled out the Soviet player. Volksgrenadiers will get ripped apart. Does not provide down there. Nice turret there. KV-1, he needs to crew the KV-1 to get his gun firing. Or send a miss there. Recruits KV-1, the Mysore squad doesn't need to fall back. Yeah, Jagdpanzer still has plenty of health. Main gun destroyed. Puma takes it out. And looks like the game has been paused, suggesting to me the Soviet player has actually backed himself out of the game. As Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.